All right, everybody. This is Scotian Talk. Another episode, another segment. It's Friday night. Everybody's unwinding. Hope everybody had a good week. We're going to get into a little bit of NBA talk today. The season is just amongst us. Everybody's excited. LeBron James is coming out looking to capture that all elusive all time scoring title from Kareem Abdul Jabbar. You have Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets looking to get a title. You have a lot of different things going on in the league this year. It's very exciting. A lot of moves getting made. A lot of players with a lot of high expectations this year. So we got my man Tony on here, Big Tony from the neighborhood. He's on the show to, give his take on the upcoming 21-22 season. We got, as always, Mr. Ray, Butch Cassidy, and myself, yours truly. So we're just going to start off by talking to Mr. Tony here. Tony, I know you've been a lifelong NBA fan, so I mean, before we really get anything too deep, who's your team? Who you go up supporting? What's your relationship with the sport of
Did you
basketball in
just say
general?
basketball?
Fine line, you man. I've been, I've been playing since I was a kid. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan through and through. I always will be. This is the first time in a long time that our team has a chance to make some noise in the league, and they made some good moves. And what I'm reading, they're not done yet. And I really look forward to the season this year, and I think that if the Nets stay healthy, man, I can't really see anybody beating them. I know a lot of teams made different moves, and you got LeBron, who's always I hate. I'm not really a fan of the guy, but I respect him as an athlete. He's an incredible athlete. You know, um, Lakers are always a threat, but I just feel like if the Nets, if they stay healthy, man, I think they're going to take it. But I'm happy to see what my Bulls are going to do as well.
All right, I like that tone, and I got to jump in because I mean Ace did a great job, introducing you to the public, but I can't give you respect and call you Big Tony. You know that belongs to one guy, and he holds a lot of
Sure.
respect from me. So I'm gonna refrain from calling you Big Tone. I'm gonna stick with Tone, but I like to talk ball with you. Like I was telling you before, man. Like one of my earliest memories was you being one of the first guys, well before Kobe was a thing. Every time you touched the ball, you was a new NBA player, and it was always, a big laugh, a big thing. We'd leave the dinner church, and everybody go to the Y and play basketball. Some pickup ball, and I mean from Nash to Nowitzki, the guys that people didn't really hear of, like Zetaguchis and things of that nature, down Negro and things. Yeah. So like when we get the chance to talk with ball with a guy like you, man, I hear you say the Bulls and they do look good, man. Like with that pickup with DeRozan and who's the other guy seen them pick up, man? They just got another good pickup too, man. But DeRozan and because they look like they actually got poised to actually get a win this year, though. I don't think they're getting a ship.
And not to be. It's just going to be nice to not to be at the big spot all the time.
Well, I mean, I was in the era of Jordan, so I'm gonna ask you. You are complaining that your team was at the bottom of the league all the time, and we're all '80s babies. You had 8 years of glory. Come on, and you
Oh
had
yeah,
D Rose.
yeah. I'm not doubting that. And then we had MVP Rose. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm thankful for the
y'all been
Bulls. It's just
blessed.
uh, it'll be nice to finally have a decent team where the future's looking okay.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it pick him up too? You guys have Zach Levine. You guys got DeMar DeRozan.
Mar- DeMar DeRozan and
Lonzo.
yeah,
Yeah,
Lonzo
Lonzo.
Ball
That's
and
was the other pickup. And your boy from Orlando.
hmm
Yeah, man. What is his name? Dukic. But no, man, that's
Nurkic.
Nurkic. Yeah, there it is, Nurkic. Don't worry, I'm gonna cut everything out up to Nurkic anyway. So, but but no, like that's a good look. See, for me, I'm actually gonna go with a dart in that like just a dark horse, man. Just a straight dark horse. I'm gonna look at Denver this year. I think Denver is gonna make some noise that people aren't gonna expect. What do you say about that, Ace? What do you say about that, Tone? What do you say about that, Ray? I'm gonna be looking at Denver. You guys are gonna hear me say a lot of Denver this year on the channel. Nothing. Nobody has a challenge. Everybody's okay with Denver. Everyone thinks Denver's a good look.
They already went a lot further than people thought they would. They had the MVP. It's yeah. I think they're going to be a good team.
But see, yeah, they went far though. But the thing with Denver is like, and it's like any other team, like the Phoenix Suns. They looked really good last year, but when you put it to the Lakers got injured, Golden State weren't what they were, especially with the injury to Clay, and they had new pickups, so they had to build a whole new chemistry. And then you're looking at the Nets breaking down. Like everything was in their favor to win, and they still couldn't as long as Giannis was out there. So I just feel like I think they did good. I'm just saying, to my knowledge, to what I would say is every team can look good during the regular season, but are you deep enough in the playoffs to actually have that run? Not everybody's a Michael Jordan to look good in the regular season and actually win the finals. What y'all think about that one?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It's playoff ball is way different than regular season ball. It's just if you're lucky to make it to the playoffs, then it's all about how you play in the playoffs. Two different worlds.
Yeah, see, I've always said like playoffs is all like luck too. Like, well, not so much luck because you play for your position, but man, it's all about the matchups. If you play the right matchups that playoff season, you might just find yourself in the finals. And like like Milwaukee, you might find yourself playing a team that you pretty much are better than because the teams that they had to beat were pretty broken down before you got there. Now, everything we're saying here, and I'm saying I'm making a lot of bold statements, and that's what this is. It's bold statements. It's sports. Like sports is the one place we're all going to talk, and we're going to disagree, and we're going to not agree, and we're going to get loud, especially in our neighborhood, especially in our province. We're naturally loud people, but none of this is to be held, for truth. This is just us talking, us thinking, us just trying to get the basketball season excited that it's coming by. So any of you guys that want to jump in and be mad that I didn't say LeBron is the GOAT and LeBron's going to win a ship, or anybody for that nature, like I'm sorry, you're in the wrong place. I'm just trying to talk about what I see.
Hmm.
You know, another thing I want to know is because this I'm gonna direct this more to you, Ace. Do you think LeBron has it another season to be LeBron James, or is he a facilitator and a veteran guy in the locker room?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I think he definitely does have it in him to still be great. I think he can still maybe not carry the whole load like he did before, but I think load management is a key word when you're talking about LeBron James these days. Because when he's healthy, I believe he's probably still the best player in the league. But at his age, he's more prone to injuries now. Like he's been getting hurt a lot more than we're used to throughout his career. So getting injured for him now almost seems like a everyday thing. So I think it's all about load management with him, and just like I said, when he's healthy, he's still one of the best players in the league, and with his basketball IQ, even him at 60% is could be devastating to the entire league, especially if he has his proper support. But injuries,
Nice. What do you
because
think, Tone? My bad.
his
Just
main man out there,
payday,
AD,
payday,
is
bro.
known
You
to be
want
injury prone too.
payday? I know
He
that.
spent the biggest games of his career on the bench, so
I gotta say they knew that when they got him though. So I'm not even gonna give that a free pass.
they
They
knew
knew
that.
that before they got him.
They knew that.
They know that.
They knew that. But AD when healthy, is a top five player. I'm not going to deny it.
What do you think, Tone? What you take on it?
Well, you guys are absolutely right. I'm not real. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but no matter where he's at, what team he's playing for, the man is just he's always a threat. And it's like uh, I know he's getting older, he's getting a little seasoned, but I personally believe that his goal in basketball right now, even if he doesn't win a championship, but I mean, who doesn't? But I think his ultimate goal right now is to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, and I think that's what he's going to be focused on, and he'll be happy with that if he doesn't win the title.
I
Well,
like
that's definitely a major accomplishment for sure. if he can do it.
Well, okay, two things I have to address. One, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna address Kareem's record and LeBron getting that record in a minute, but I want to address this. He's the best player in the league type of ordeal today. Like, I mean, he hasn't. If you ask me, he hasn't been the best player in the league since KD went to Golden State.
I don't believe he's the best player in the league. He's up there, but as far as I'm concerned, the best basketball player in the league right now is Kevin Durant.
I agree, and I'll even go on a further limb here and say I don't know if LeBron's actually in the top five right now with the way he's been playing and the way his team's been performing. Like, they were on the tail end of getting, put out of that little mini playoff tournament to a really, really broken down Golden State. He's
Yeah,
proven that if he doesn't have, yeah, if he's proven that if he doesn't have his big man there, they don't look very good. And even the season where he was said to be healthy and made the trade and broke up the team, a lot of people act like, they weren't second place only by like 3 or 4 points, and the West was really tight. It's always tight. And when he came back, they were like 8 points to 6, maybe 4 points to a playoff spot. And the first 3 games he lost, which would have, the way he came back, they lost, which would have put him out even further from the playoffs. So I'm not saying that he's a problem. I mean, a 50%, LeBron James is better
He
than a
was,
lot of 100% guys on the bench.
he was playing injured. His other guy was injured.
Can I ask a
He had
question?
injury,
Can I
and
ask
I
a question?
said that when he was healthy,
Hmm.
he is still the best player in the league. But health is a thing that eludes him these days. He
Okay,
spends more and more time.
but that's the thing. He put on the jersey. He was healthy.
But they paid him the money.
Hey, he put on the jersey. He was healthy. That's all I can say. If he put on the jersey, he was healthy, and he didn't perform well. Well, this is what they pay you for. Because if he didn't have the name LBJ and a few championships and just having that montage that he has, and he was anybody else, healthy or not, he would have been traded. So I mean, I'm not trying to poo-poo on the guy.
Not anybody else. Though. We're talking about LeBron James here.
Yeah, and
you
LeBron.
can't trade a general manager.
LeBron is the general manager of every team he's been at. That's the
I
thing, though.
mean,
Hey, the guy puts asses in the seats. You can't argue with that.
Yeah,
he does
name a team that did good after he left. Oops. I mean, wouldn't you think
down
if
there
you're?
on the court, flopping around.
I've heard people
So is
use
this
this.
the?
Hmm?
So are we bashing LeBron? This is the anti-LeBron hour.
No.
No, he's great. He's great.
See, well, my bad. I guess I do got to turn into, Steven, first letter of the alphabet, and put a ticker down at the bottom for LeBron and make all of his great accomplishments when I'm just not gonna sit here and pretend like the LeBron I seen the last 3 years is the LeBron I seen getting worked by Disco Dirk. Oh, that's a rhyme. That's bars. I'm just saying.
That, yeah, bars.
But no, I'm not. I'm not poo-pooing on him. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that LeBron James is not a great basketball player. I mean, he's a great basketball player, but so is Isaiah Thomas. So is Larry Bird. So is Magic Johnson. But one of them all have. They all have.
I said LeBron took the game to the next level.
So did Jordan, and so did
Right?
everybody I mentioned.
Okay. So why does everybody get credit but LeBron?
I just put
Why
him in
come
this.
we ain't shitting
Hold
on him?
on. Hold on.
Hey,
Hold on.
can
Go ahead.
I?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest here. Okay,
Mhm.
for me, of course, you guys know I'm a Jordan fan, and I always did like LeBron James, but what made me dislike him is when he self-proclaimed himself that. Jordan never, ever, ever once said that he was the greatest basketball player ever. He never once said that.
He
He
didn't
said
have to.
that's for the fans to. LeBron self-proclaimed himself, and at that point is when I stopped having respect for him. I'm going to be honest.
No.
Well,
No.
that's just the monster that the media created. When you're
Can I?
taking a 16-year-old, put him on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and telling me he's the greatest, the guy probably actually grew up thinking he was going to be the greatest.
But
So it
sports is
probably ain't
80%
nothing new to
mental.
him. You know,
Mental's a big part of
yeah.
Yeah,
sports.
but
You can't let somebody tell you what you are. You got to go show them who you are. We come from show me land, right?
He exceeded expectations. He he even exceeded the expectations they had for him coming into the league.
Okay, a lot of people
So
did.
he showed he lived up to every.
That's not. I'm not. I'm not. But
You can't
I'm
diss him
saying.
on that level. You can't just diss every.
I'm saying a lot of people
I'm
did,
not
but
taking
also.
nothing away from the guy. And
Go ahead. You good?
I'm just saying, I don't take anything away from him, and I never have. He is phenomenal, and I've seen him do things that were incredible. I just didn't like it. Rubbed me the wrong way when he self-proclaimed himself that. That's what rubbed me the wrong way.
And then made a
And it
Space
really
Jam movie that flopped.
rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
But hold on, if I can say something to when I said Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, I didn't say anything negative about LeBron. You were like, why are they great, but he isn't? And if I put them all on the same level, I said they're all great. I said they're all great. He's great.
I understand.
Hold on. You ready to yell
I
at me?
understand the.
But all I was saying was they're all great. No one's not putting nothing, you know, underneath of them or over them. They're all great. But in my mind, when I look at somebody who embodies the body of winning, alpha male, and I'm gonna do what it takes to win and bring this home to you, Jordan. I'm sorry, like if you're gonna go with field goal percentages, Jordan shot a lot more mid range than what LeBron did. LeBron took a lot more layups, but they somehow have the same shooting percentage. Come on, man. Let's look at the shooting percentage close to the rim. I bet you Jordan's does this.
I said LeBron did play 177,000 more games than Jordan did too. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
Did you just say
you know.
And
basketball?
only thing I'm saying, and I understand the objectivity. That's for sure. And I don't think that LeBron is greater than Michael Jordan either. But what I'm saying is, how come when we talk about LeBron, it's always bring up the lowlights, and when we talk about everybody else, it's the highlights. Like people only talk about LeBron's shortcomings. It's the only thing people do when they talk about LeBron. Well, he did it. He did it. Nobody ever gives LeBron James any flowers at all. Like this man gets no flowers for nothing. I never ever hear people talk about, oh, he did this, that. Like, and that's the only reason that bothers me when people just start talking about LeBron, because they always right away start talking about the things that he didn't do.
You don't think
You
he did
know,
that to himself? You don't think when you self-proclaim yourself the GOAT, nobody else has ever done that in any sport? You didn't bring on the haters? You don't think when you do some of the things that you have done in the league, you didn't bring on the haters? Now, me, I don't hate LeBron. I don't have a personal issue. I don't know him personally to care for him. Anybody knows me. I just like the sport. I don't have a favorite team. I don't have a favorite player. Jordan's retired. I ain't in it no more. I'm just watching what I see. And to be honest, it's not that I don't feel like this conversation was a poo-poo on LeBron. I asked, does anyone think he has, the abilities to be him again? The reason why I asked that is because we're about to see something amazing. If he is, this man is 19 years in and he's playing like he's, 10 years in, 7 years in. That's an amazing thing to see. I like to enjoy it while I can see it. I got to see him, Jordan, Bird, Magic. I got to see a lot of great basketball players do their thing. Isaiah, I'm cool. Even got to see Kareem at an old age do his thing. What I'm trying to say is if do you think so? But when you start mentioning, if he's healthy, he could be the best in the league. I'm gonna say if he's healthy today, there's I can say maybe four players that are a lot better than him in the league because they're not just gonna be
you can say that, but
facilitators. It's not. It is. Just because he's LeBron and what he did 15 years ago, it's arguable. But that's what I'm saying. You know, I see him every year trying to build that big team around himself, but not just go with the team that he has and create the chemistry like most teams do. Like Milwaukee
that's
has.
the NBA that he plays in, bro.
No,
Think
that's the
about the
NBA he
early.
created.
The super team was you don't lie, and anybody that's been watching basketball knows this. The super team was created to stop LeBron James. When they put that team together in Boston, that team was made to stop LeBron James.
That
Period. The super team
that
was
team
invented for LeBron James. LeBron James went to the finals. He was what, 21 years old?
and got
Took his
swept.
team to single-handedly. Okay, but he was still a young kid who took his team single-handedly to the finals. The next year, he was probably poised to win a championship in a regular NBA. The next year, they built the Boston Big Three, and the NBA's never been the same since. That blew up the whole NBA, and you know it's true.
Do you want me to tackle Big Three? I don't think it's true, but I'll tackle it. I just want to let somebody else talk. I'm just making a note and then I'll come back to it.
Well, look at the teams who won the championships after them. Boston had won their first year. The next year, the Lakers came back and won after they had made their big acquirement of Pau Gasol, and they put their big team together. And then who come to Boston won? No, Boston didn't win this year. Who won it after the year after? No, the Lakers won twice in a row. Oh yes, they won twice in a row. And then Miami. Then that's when Miami got built.
Okay, so can I ask a question then?
Except for the Spurs. The Spurs are the only team that wasn't a super team, really, that won the championship in that whole like 10-year period.
Can, can I answer, or does somebody else want to tackle before I go?
Oh,
You guys good? All right. So I look at it this way. First of all, I don't think they were running scared of LeBron. They may have been looking at what may be to come, and thought, we got to get something together. But if you were, you wouldn't take three guys that were on the way out the door. That's just it. Like people are acting like, hold on, but people,
Everybody knew Boston was going to win the championship when they brought in three.
yeah, okay, but no, like that Boston. That Boston team, putting that Boston team together was like when LA put together with the Karl Malone and the Gary Payton. Like them guys, I'm not saying they weren't good. I'm just saying, like,
No,
okay,
no, no. You can't say that. You can't say that.
I'm not
No,
saying
no, no.
no, no. But I already said before I said that. Like I'm not saying it's to that degree, but I'm saying when you look at the team, you're acting like they didn't have Rajon Rondo, they didn't have Kendrick Perkins. You're acting like they didn't have a good young core behind them. That's what they had. You know what I mean? They didn't build a team. They drafted Rondo. They had already had Paul Pierce there. Kevin Garnett was actually getting traded from a team he was franchised in that he wasn't Kevin Garnett no more like he used to be. He was, but he wasn't. And then you're talking about Ray Allen, who, come on, like he was shooting his three. I'm not saying come on as if he wasn't no good, but I'm saying like you're acting as if they put together a big three, like let's say, I don't know, maybe a top three power forward center in the league, maybe the best shooting guard and maybe the best small
But,
forward.
oh, that was the
That's a
team
big three.
that coined the phrase, the Big Three. That was the team that coined the phrase, the Big Three. That
Okay,
was
but
them.
okay, so you're telling me before that team, the Houston Rockets didn't have a big three, the Portland Trailblazers didn't have a big three. Are we
I
missing those
don't.
teams that got put together?
I
Are
think
we?
we're acting like. I think we're acting like. I think we're just acting like we don't know. Like we never lived at that time. I knew.
I
I know you didn't know, but I know most people that watch basketball know when they brought over Ray Allen, they brought over Kevin Garnett. It was almost a done deal. They won a championship their first year playing together, bro.
and did
Come
they win
on,
another
this is
one?
not no, but
Oh,
still, they won. They were all on the tail end of their. Uh, they were all on the tail end
career?
of their prime, but they were all still in their
Oh,
prime.
no, come on now. Come on, man. They were at the end of their career. They had the tail end of their career, not their prime, their career.
They all played like 10 years after that. What are you talking about? They weren't at the
Okay.
tail end of their prime.
Well, how many
Can
teams?
somebody else?
sir.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's go with Paul Pierce, the number one guy on that team. How many teams he played for since that Boston team?
Like one or two, maybe.
Come on, man. He went to Brooklyn. He went to Washington. He was over there in, where was I think, Charlotte. Come on, man. They had him moving, bro. He was a nomad in the league. He was a nomad at the tail end of his.
Okay, but Mark, these guys weren't bums when they went to Boston. These were all guys
I
ready
never
to win.
once. Why? But why you gonna call? Why you gonna say I called them bums? Like you keep making these narratives. Like I said, LeBron James wasn't great when I put him in a list with great people. Saying like you're asking me a question. The big three. I gave you two teams before the Boston team. That was a big three.
We got to talk like for real. We're not going to sit up and act like that was the whole team and that we were favorite to win the championship as soon as they made those trades. Come
So
on.
was it Houston? Okay, and I'm gonna from when I just talked, I'm gonna include this, or I'll take it out. But was the Houston Rockets, were they favored to win a championship when they were put together? Was that Trailblazers team with
That
Pippen?
I don't understand how any of this even works together. I don't know.
Okay,
You're
so
going back to now. I'm talking about stuff that I was a man and watched happen.
okay,
Shit that
but
happened in '94.
hey, so Tony, you should have been close enough to be old enough. You can help him understand what I'm saying. He said there was no Big Three team until they put together that team in Boston, right? And then I said the team they put together in Houston was a big three team. You're saying I'm going too far back. I'm not. I'm saying the NBA has been doing this for a long time. This isn't the first time, and that wasn't the first time the NBA been doing it. You know what? We want to know what was a real shocker to the NBA was seeing uh, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh all play on the same team at the same time when they're not competing, when they're on the same division or same conference and should be competing against each other to see who goes to the finals, but they don't. They say let's not compete. Let's just go play against Paul George and Danny Granger and see if we can knock them guys off and and go to the playoffs. And then you get, things start happening like Kevin Durant going to Golden State. Nobody liked that either, but and they forgot all about the Kevin Durant or the LeBron James going to the Miami Heat. I mean, just like everyone by that point forgot that Boston even had a big three. Because you see how I'm talking about them. So I'm not gonna deny it that like I wasn't in the hype at the moment, but everyone's in the hype at the moment. That's all I'm trying to say is like we were acting like everyone didn't think that Rocket team was gonna beat everybody. That Portland team wasn't gonna beat everybody. Even when they brought over the Karl Malone and the Gary Payton over there, everyone's like, oh, they got the glove and they got the mailman. Like, come on, man. Like we don't. Nobody really lets go of the vets, man. Let's be honest here. Anytime you put together like the team that LA put together now, that team is old. I see that team doing the same thing the team last year did. That team is old, bro. Like they brought the Dwight Howard back. Why'd you let him go? like, my bad, but I let you take over. That's literally was my piece, and I'm not saying that like Butch's way, but that was my piece on that one. That's all I was really trying to make across. It's not that I forgot your guys. It's just let's be honest about what the NBA has been. Sell tickets.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just pointing out the fact that when the Boston put together the Big Three, that was a significant event in the NBA. That wasn't. You're acting like you're just saying that was like a small thing. Like that wasn't nothing. They just put a team together, some old guys, and they happened to win a championship. When them trades were made, bro, that blew up the whole. Bro, they were like, "Oh my god, it was huge." So we can't just act like that wasn't nothing. Yeah, Miami, the Lakers and them guys. I mean, Miami took it to another level when they brought over Bosh, three guys that were actually in their prime and not on the tail end of their. They took it to a different level. And then Kevin Durant took it to a different level. We went to Golden State. He joined a team that was already one of the best teams ever, and just added more to it. It keeps getting elevated. It's been a step-by-step program, but I mean, from me, it seemed like it all started with that Boston team for me in this era. It started there.
All right. I can respect that point. I can respect that perspective. My bad. Tone, what do you think?
I just believe that, and I do hear what Ace is saying, and he's absolutely right. But the thing that I believe is that there's a difference between the big three and the super team.
True story. That's a good take. I give you credit for that. Actually, I didn't even come up with that one.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
Was
And
that
like you said, like Ace was right though. It's like everything gets taken up a notch. So
hmm
I agree with that.
That's true. That's 100% true. Like he definitely got a point there. What
But
about you,
yeah, the
Ray?
big
Hold on,
three
hold
was
on.
more of.
Hold on, let's check what Ray got to say. He trying to mute his mic on all sports talk. We gonna make him start talking sports. He gonna make Ray talk some sports. You gonna get this work.
You gonna get this work? All right. Hey, you'll get this work.
You're going to do that work.
Yeah. What do you think, Ray?
What I would have to say honestly about the super teams, it kind of the NBA, bro. Like when they start doing this super team stuff, I honestly I started to tune out. To be quite honest,
Nice. All
I
right.
can't lie.
it really messed with my. I became less interested in it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because it's just a trickle down effect. Once one team starts it, every other team's gonna try to attempt it once at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the sickening part about it all is that there's only certain teams in the league that are even capable of that are desirable enough destination to even think about having a super team. Even for Golden State, that was a long shot. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
because they're in California. But like most teams don't even have a chance
Well,
of
they're right
getting
next to
one.
Silicon Valley, so now that my bad, but they're right next to Silicon Valley, so like now that you have all like these young guys that are coming out of university and understands tech and investing, and they can invest in apps and they're getting more information through via the internet and all that, man, it's a new destination point because that's where you're getting all your
That's
investors.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Same reason why they used to go to
Yeah.
Alpha to get those boogie deals and rub elbows with the execs. So I'd say that's
Well, that's
But
the
you know,
thing,
like
though.
I know,
That's the
man.
thing, though. That's the thing, though. But this outside business